Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome. Today we are going to talk about 2022 Uhuru's succession plan. And there are three likely scenarios that may occur. Number one is in the event election is held in 2022, Ruto may be victorious. I mean, he may win that election. That is one scenario. Scenario number two is if not Ruto, then Raila will win that election. Now, those are the two likely scenarios that in the event elections are held in 2022, the two most likely candidates who may win the elections are Raila and Ruto. This is something that most people know. Now, if it is your first time you're coming across this channel, please hit subscribe and turn on notification. Now, there is a third likely scenario, which some people have started talking about it, while very few have also started accepting it. President Uhuru Kenyatta may extend his term by 2 more years. What I'm saying here is, because of some things that are happening today, last year, for example, COVID, economic situation in the country, in the BBI, and the boundary review, these three issues may be reasons why Uhuru may extend his term by 2 more years. And these are very logical consequences of what is happening today. But how is it going to be acceptable in Kenya? We have three arms of government. We have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. Now, if that proposal is brought before Parliament, the likelihood of this proposal sailing through is very high, considering the fact that MPs normally are given loan to buy houses and cars. Before 6 months is over is when they clear their loan, so they have to prepare for the next election. Extending their term by 2 more years will give them lifeline to raise election fund, campaign fund. So for MPs, the legislature arm of government, it is something that they can accept. Let us come to the judiciary. Judiciary, as of this week, there is interviews going on, and it is likely that Chief Justice is going to be recruited very soon. Now, whether the judiciary will accept the term extension is a question that is tethered to who is going to emerge as Chief Justice. Now, if the new Chief Justice is executive friendly, then it is possible that they may tick that box and say, yes, because of the circumstances we are experiencing, the situation we are facing today, it is prudent to extend 2 more years for this regime, so that the regime the government can prepare for elections in 2024. Now, before the handshake, we used to have the fourth arm of government, and that was Raila Amolo Odinga. But after the handshake, that arm of government is been reduced to someone who has no effect to some extent. Why do I say this? Because if today Raila decides that he's not going to work with the government, the worst he can do is to work with Ruto. And if he decides to work with Ruto, the chances of him being given the position of flag bearer is very slim. And in that case, his effectiveness as the fourth arm of government has been reduced. It is like a sheikh who has never been taking bribes and his words were blessed. The day he takes bribe or he takes handouts, then his words become just like ordinary words. Many people may accept that this is how things will turn out. But as with, a democratic country, everything that is being done must have the face of the law, must comply with the law. How is it going to be done legally? This is the big question. The question is not whether term for Uhuru is going to be extended, but the question is how is it going to be legalized? I'll just put it this way. Now the BBI law is in parliament. The parliament is going to pass the law, and after the president assents to this act, to this bill, it becomes act of parliament, then that is when someone, a body, will take this new law to court. It will go up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will decide, probably. I'm not sure how it is going to go. It may go either way. It may be accepted, and the Supreme Court may say this law has been enacted legally. But most likely, the Supreme Court will say it has not been enacted legally. In that case, then BBI will come back and must go down again and start from square one. This is how now the government, President Uhuru Kenyatta, may come out and say BBI has been rejected. It has been found not to have complied with the due process. So what is going to happen is we are starting it afresh. And when that happens, then there is going to be the question of boundary reviews. Is it going to be possible to review these boundaries, these kind of new constituencies in time? Because IEBC has clearly said it cannot do these boundary reviews within 6 months. So that is one question that will be raised after the Supreme Court decides that due process has not been followed. After the Supreme Court finds that due process has not been followed to enact this act of parliament, then the parliament will pick it from there, and a motion will be raised and brought to the floor that says that there is a need to extend the lifespan of this parliament and the government. If that happens, who is going to say no? Now, many people may say this is far-fetched and it has not happened in the history of Kenya. But as we know, it has happened in many African countries, including recently. The unstable country of Somalia has extended 2 years for President Farmajo. Why is it not possible in Kenya? And in any case, if it happens, what can the public do?